Hello and welcome to Dinosaur Juice. Hopefully you saw my Christmas video, which was different to my traditional Christmas video and was 5 things I love about my TVR, because we need some love. And now we come to another video that I normally do every year, which is my New Year's video, where I talk about the things that I plan to do in the coming year. But I think 2021 has got enough pressure on it already. So, a little bit more love. This is my latest purchase. It is a Twingo RenaultSport with the Cup chassis. And, yeah, we're going to talk about the 5 things I love about it. So, firstly, the looks of it. It may be a Twingo, but like the Fiat 500, in hot hatch form, this thing looks mean. It's just sitting there going, oh, I'm just as mean as the biggest, bestest hot hatches. And I love that thing about it. It's playful with its looks, with its character. It looks like it's trying too hard, but in a nice way, in a that's endearing. I love the car more because it's trying too hard to be. Yeah, it's just playful. I love the mean grille. You know, the normal Twingo looks a bit happier than this one, and I love the body kit. I love the ridiculous wheel arches, and yeah, we'll get it on side on because it looks pretty mean there as well. So, side on. Yeah, you can see these mad wheel arches. The stupid side skirts, but it's childish, but in a good way, in a fun, playful way. I love the little normal petrol filler cap and then the body kit sticking out from it. I love the wing. I love just everything about it. And then normal Twingo things. This is not special or specific to the RenaultSport, but these tiny overhangs remind me so much of the Smart Roadster, which I love. You know, that's a tiny car with a wheelbase longer than a Porsche 911. And this, it has that right on the corner wheel, so it gives it that playfulness that you want from a small car. Admittedly, it is the heaviest car I have ever owned. You wouldn't believe it, but yeah, it's the heaviest car I've ever owned. And yes, okay, it's Smart Roadster, Westfield, MG Midget, TVR, but it's also heavier than my mum's old Fiat Punto, which I drove for a few years. Yeah, and yeah, it's odd that such a diddy little car is actually quite heavy. Well, not really heavy. It's light by anyone else's standards, but by my standards, yeah, it's got this lovely look about it. It looks fantastic in photographs. The rear end looks lovely. There's a picture up now. One of the interesting things about this car is when I first bought it, someone decided they didn't like the fact that the taillights weren't symmetrical. So they got a European style one and got rid of the fog light. The reversing light they got rid of. So the reversing light was red, which is illegal. Because they were like, oh, I don't like the look of that. So that's a weird thing, but I put it back to how it should be. I think it looks better because it's functional, and I like the whole car has this quirky playfulness, but it's all functional. They wanted a wider track, so they put these on, you know, and it's a very basic way of doing it. Anything like that, you know, it's all functional. It's quirky and fun and childish, so I didn't like someone ruining it for just a little bit of an aesthetic benefit. The wheels are nice. I am terrified of curbing them. When I got some more money, I am definitely going to put some Goodyear Eagle F1 tyres on it that have like a meaty sidewall rim protector, because they're so lovely. They've not been curbed, and I think I would cry for days if I ruined them. But yeah, I mean, for looks, exterior wise, I'm very happy. I love it. My mum does say that it's Postman Pat's van. I do agree. It's very van-like. It's so van-like that I've decided to put a black and white cuddly toy cat in the car. It's actually not there at the moment because I'm not driving the car. We're in Tier 4, so I thought I'd bring that indoors so it didn't get damp with all of the horrible weather. But yeah, Postman Pat's van, but race car spec. If you know me, you know what this is going to be. These door handles. They're just genius. I love them. Because easy to operate, easy to grab hold of the door. Really, you know, fantastic. But also fantastically clever. Because you're not breaking this outer skin of the door. The sealing and the manufacture of the door handle is much cheaper. It means your car's cheaper and you've got a quirky door handle that's tactile, feels nice, and it looks cool. I love the door handles on this. I'm so sad the new Twingo doesn't have this, because the original had this one has this, but the new Twingo, they got rid of it. It's perfect. I couldn't think of a better door handle design. And I've owned a lot of cars with quirky door handles, from the MG midgets where you need the thumb to press it in, the TVR with that blade that lifts up, the Smart Roadster where it's right on the window. That one's quite a normal door handle, but an odd location, an odd looking thing. The Westfield, which is just a popper on a bit of fabric. But yeah, I absolutely love this, and every time I get into the car it just makes me smile. And yeah, that's just a fantastic feature of the car. And well, I would put it in top place, number one, but I feel people might get angry if I did that. But it's genius. I couldn't love a door handle more. I'm weird, I know, but yeah, it's brilliant. So to demonstrate the infotainment system, I've got my phone connected up here and I'm playing a bit of Massive Attack, so there shouldn't be too much issues concerning copyright. And it's absolutely brilliant because behind the steering wheel you have this paddle thing with your volume up or volume down, and then behind that paddle is a scroll wheel, and you scroll it and the song changes. And it's such a fantastic, you can hold the steering wheel correctly, you know, drive the car properly and change track. And, you know, that's a quiet song. Change track again. Oh, as all Massive Attack, it all starts quietly. And also change the volume easily. It's absolutely brilliant. You've got your phone controls in there as well, which are usable, but I don't tend to call people while driving, so I don't really know much about how great they are. The one thing that is annoying about all of this setup is down here. How would you adjust the volume on this setup? What would be the logical place that you're driving along and you go, oh, I want to change the volume, or you get your passenger, could you change the volume please? Well, they would go for this, but this changes the track. The volume is actually here, which is weird, and yeah, odd, weird French quirkiness that is actually very annoying. Because sometimes you're like, oh, I'm really enjoying this song, I'm really enjoying it, turn the volume up, you know, and instead of doing that, they go to that and change the track. I just realised that I've come to the end of my massive attack selection, so I'd get copyright striked. But yeah, that's very annoying, and even more annoying when you're on the radio and it's a song you like and someone changes the station that way. So yeah, on the most part, I never ever use what's here, and I'm just using these paddles back here to control the songs. Fantastic feature of this car that I really love. So, this is a diddy little car, and the next feature might surprise you, but it's how much space there is for 4 adult passengers. And yes, I know I'm a very big bloke. Everyone on the internet decides to keep on reminding me. But it is easy to get into the back and easy to fit perfectly well inside here. So, yeah, in the back here is surprisingly spacious. Now, I've got the passenger seat all the way back, and it's only just touching my knees. The driver's seat in a sensible position, how I drive the car, remembering I'm a tall person, I had space off my knees. So, yeah, it was sort of about there with the driver's seat in my position as a tall passenger, tall driver as well. Now, if you have the rear seats all the way back, someone like myself does hit the sloping roofline. But there is a genius part to these rear seats. They slide. So if you're really, really tall and you're sitting in the back, what you do is you go, "Oi, passenger mate, do you mind?" Well, he's sitting bolt upright, but you could slide his seat forwards. Then you can bring your seat forwards, and suddenly you've got loads of headroom. So it actually is very, very, very versatile for the tallest of people. So you might be thinking, okay, space for rear passengers, is that really it? There's lots of cars that have space for rear passengers. No, these rear seats are even more clever than managing to get large people in a tiny car. And to see why, we have to look inside the boot. So we've seen that these rear seats can slide backwards and forwards. They can recline and come forwards by a reasonable amount. They can fold over, but that is not everything. See, there's these red little hooks that you can pull. That allows the seat to swing out of the way and allows you to have a very large and very usable boot. And very large usable boots in small cars is a rare thing these days. But this boot is special for one extra thing. Even though it is a tiny, tiny car, under here there is a spare tyre. You don't get that on anything today, but tiny little Twingo, spare tyre. What a practical tiny car. Well, we are just going to head into a D-restricted section of road. There's a van behind me, and oh, someone's pulling out. The thing I love most about this car is its engine. It's not powerful, it's got about 130 horsepower. That's about the same as the West Westfield had, but this car's twice the weight of the Westfield. But it delivers its power in such a tactile and lovely way. It's got torque low down because it's got variable valves. Timing, I believe, not lift. I might be wrong. The words here describing its valve technology. Yeah, it's got this lovely torque down low, means you can use the car at the lower RPMs, but it wants to rev out to 7,000 RPM. It's 1.6 litre 4-cylinder, and it's just playful, and it makes that wonderful intake noise. You know, it hasn't got an exhaust upgrade, this car. This is the stock exhaust that came on the Twingo RenaultSports, so it doesn't make lots of exhaust noise. It makes a bit, you can definitely hear it from outside the car, but it doesn't make enough that it drowns out the intake noise. So it's all intake noise that you're hearing inside this car, all air rushing into that naturally aspirated engine, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. It reminds me in a way of the sound you used to get from the Weber carbs on my Westfield. Because in one ear you were listening to the intake, the Webers, and in the other ear you were listening to the exhaust. Now you're not getting the exhaust in this ear, in this car, but you are getting in all of your ears that lovely intake sound from an aggressively cammed 4-cylinder. Not overly aggressive, and yes, it's got variable valve stuff, which means, you know, like you can drive it at low RPM and it's not a pain in the arse like the Westfield was. But yeah, it's such a lovely engine. It's absolutely wonderful. It's sorted in every regard that an engine should be. Apart from fuel economy mainly, maybe, but I would blame that mostly on the gearbox, because there's no 6th gear and 5th gear is very low. I feel like it could have done with being a little bit longer geared, a little bit more spaced out. But yeah, this engine is just lovely. You know, it's not that quick a car. 0-60 in 8.2 seconds, I think, or 8.1. It's not a rapid car. And obviously I have the TVR, I've had the Westfield and things like that. But it's something just enjoyable about this engine. The throttle response is immediate. It wants to go. It's fun. It's fun, and it suits the rest of the character of the car that is fun. Traction control's good in this car. That was good fun. I enjoyed myself. Right, thank you very, very much for watching this video. I hope that you managed to get past the horrors of 2020, and I hope that you have a better 2021. I hope that we all do, but in the meanwhile, please stay safe, please drive safe, and please work together to make the world a bit of a nicer place. If you want to support me, there are t-shirts available. Very soon there will be a Twingo t-shirt as well, but at the moment, Smart Roadster, TVR, MG, Westfield t-shirts all available. Link in the description for those. As for videos, well, many of you know that I'm writing my dissertation at the moment, so probably not too many, but I'm always looking for opportunities to make videos, so please subscribe And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra!